He went from a religious upbringing to pulling off some audacious house heists, all while being at university. And then his own friends only went and fucking grassed him up. This week on the Tales from the Trap podcast, I'm sitting down with former heavyweight boxer Larry Olubamiwo, known as the War Machine.
Wearing these solid red trunks, he fights out of Hackney and weighs in at 18 stone, 10 pounds. Entering the ring with an 8-win record, 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout against a single defeat. Please welcome the War Machine, Larry Olubamiwo.
But his story goes way deeper than boxing. He talks about growing up in a strict Nigerian household, being pushed away from crime. But when money got tight at uni, everything changed. Him and his boys come up with the idea of robbing brothels. Fast money, risky moves, and just when he thought he'd come away from it and got away clean, they got caught. They turned on him. And suddenly, he's the one going to prison. When he comes out of jail, he rebuilds himself through boxing, turns professional, steps in the ring with names like Huey Fury and Dave Allen, and earns the name the War Machine. But that's not all. He also lifts the lid on corruption in boxing and what really goes on behind the scenes. There's one moment he talks about where everything could have gone very, very fucking wrong. And you can see it still sits with him to this day. This is a raw one. Larry or the War Machine, like you've never seen him before. So sit back, fasten your seatbelts, and enjoy the ride with us, and we'll see you all on the other side. Welcome back to Tales from the Trap. My name's Terry Stone, and today we're joined by Larry Olubamiwo. Is that right? This is an outtake. Give it one more time, go on.
Olubamiwo.
Olubamiwo.
There you go.
Right, ready? Welcome back to the Tales from the Trap podcast. My name's Terry Stone, and today we're joined by a boxing legend. He's been on the wrong side of the tracks. He's now an actor. He does security. He is a man of many talents. Please put your hands together for Larry Olubamiwo in the building. Hey. Thank you, Larry. Do you know something? I'm just going to call you Larry because I don't want to mispronounce your surname. I don't want to get a right hook, you know?
You're joking. That's all good. It's all good.
But Larry, you know, I love the way that we got connected.
Yeah.
We share the same agent, but we actually got, when we started talking on the set, it was like we've got all these mutuals. So, and for anybody that doesn't know Larry, you're going to find out all about him because we are literally going to go deep. So if you could just share with us a little bit about, you know, where you grew up and what your childhood was like, Larry.
Right. So I grew up in Hackney. Actually, funny enough, I was born in St Thomas's,
right,
Lambeth. But yeah.
So you were sort of south, and then you went east.
Yeah. But I mean, I've got a lot of family in South still. So,
right.
But yeah, I grew up in Hackney. Actually, what happened was, I was in South London till the age of 4,
right,
and then from the age of 4 till 8, I went back to Nigeria,
right,
and I was there for 4 years, and then came back when I was 8. And then
what was that like? Because obviously you know, London to Nigeria, it must have been a bit of like as a child. Do you have fond memories of that? Or
I have vague memories. It was hot.
That's one thing you're guaranteed in Nigeria.
Yeah,
There's no fucking rain.
Definitely that. But from what I remember, it was I don't know. It was there was a friendly atmosphere. It was more. I feel like there was more of a community feel.
Right.
But African countries are generally like that. Like there's no, for instance, there's no such thing as old people's homes. Like
right,
everyone looks after the old people.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
So you're lumping with them for like. There's no, don't worry, Mum. We're going to put you in a home. You'll be fine. It's like you have to like, but that's lovely. And you know, what's the sort of age expectancy out there? I mean, do people live to like really old age?
I mean, officially, from what I've read, it's not as good as say the Western world, but
right,
but funnily enough, like my grandma lived till She was 90 on my grandma on my mum's side. And she wasn't in the best of health, lived until 90. So
yeah,
I think it just depends, really. Do you know what I mean? Just like it does here. I mean, you get people who die very young, and you get people who live to, very, very old ages.
Hopefully, we're going to be live to a very old age, Gary.
Well, it depends. It depends. You know what I mean?
So you then come back to Hackney as an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And then what was that like growing up? Because from when I was doing sort of my stuff, when I was doing the clubs and stuff, Hackney was really like a no-go zone. Like Hackney, Dalston, Stoke Newington, Tottenham, Brixton. They were all places that you didn't really want to be wandering around after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's funny because, and I'd include Stratford in that as well.
Oh, yeah, Stratford. That's a really happy place.
Because like those places have changed completely now. Like they're so gentrified now.
Yeah.
Like my mum and sisters still live in Hackney, so I'm always down there all the time.
Right.
And it's like to see the change. And don't get me wrong, I'm normally not for gentrification, but in this instance, I'm happy for it because it's completely changed the area, made the area safe. But to answer your question, back then, man, it was, it was dangerous.
I mean, in your family, I take it your mum and dad were together. So did you have brothers and sisters as well?
Yeah, I got one. I'm the oldest, and I've got one brother and 2 sisters. Yeah.
And what was it like growing up in Hackney then? Because like you said, it was dangerous. I mean, did your parents kind of protect you in any way, or was it literally like you got to learn to put your hands up?
A bit of both, to be honest with you.
Right.
Parents were always like, you're not going out between these times and these times, and you're not hanging around with this guy, that guy, and whatever. Do you know what I mean? But they can only do so much. Do you know what I mean? So, and also it's funny because my dad took a night job to make sure that there was always someone in the house. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, basically, you had to learn how to put your hands up if you lived in Hackney. Otherwise, you're going to get violated. Do you know what I mean?
But you're a big guy, Larry, so I don't think that many people violated you.
But then you get the other people who want to challenge a big guy. Do you know what I mean?
Got it. So when you walk in, it's like we're having him.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you regardless, you got to learn how to put your hands up, and that's something I definitely, learned very, very quickly.
And would you say back then as well? I mean, obviously, when you fast forward to the present day, the gang culture in London is on a different level now. But back then, was it? Do you think that was the sort of birth of it? Where
I think during my teenage years, that was the birth of it. But I think I could speak for Hackney, and because I've got, like I said, I've got family in South London, some parts of South London as well. Those areas are very, very similar to what it's like now with the gang culture.
Right.
It just boomed very quickly. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why exactly that was, but I think maybe because there was a lot of fellas that were doing really well.
Right.
People saw that they were doing well, and they wanted some of that success, no matter how they were going to get it, and so they got with them and. Hangers on, did whatever they were told, and that kind of thing. And
was it get rich or die trying?
Yeah, so something similar to that. And at some point, I got caught up in something like that, which obviously I'll tell the story afterwards. But I think there's a lot of parallels with the gang culture now to how it was then.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But I think what the difference now is that you have a lot younger people just doing stupid stuff for no reason.
But there's no respect for life, is there? That's the problem. Exactly. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day because we've done this film Tales from a Trap, and it's obviously an expose on the county lines and the gang culture, not just in London. It's pretty much all around the world. One thing that shocked me was when you talk to people that are in the life, and you say to them, is there a way of changing this? Can we sort of get people to put the knives down? And they're all like, well, no, because, if I go out without a knife or a gun or whatever, and I meet somebody else who's got a knife or a gun, and I haven't got mine, they're going to probably kill me. So
there was a good example of that not too long ago where Idris himself, who's obviously trying to stop all this knife, there was CCTV of someone about 3 people came for this one person. They all had their knives, and he looked like he didn't have nothing. And then all of a sudden, he pulled out one massive zombie knife.
He was like fucking Paul Hogan.
And they all ran off.
This is a knife.
Right, but like, yeah, this is a knife. Yeah, I mean, but if he didn't have that, he'd be a dead man. Right. Do you know what I mean? So I can you don't want to give that credence, but you can see it for what it is. And that, when I was growing up, was kind of how it was as well. I think that was the beginning of that, because like...
So what year was that, would you say?
So I think when I was in secondary school. So when I was in secondary school from 1990 to 1995. Right. And then I'll tell you, because I was in a school called Hackney Free. Hackney Free had a policy of sending you home if you got into a fight in school.
Was you home every day then?
Oh, hell no, because the first time I had a fight, my dad whooped my ass when I got home.
See, that doesn't happen now.
So, and I'm sure that happened to a lot of kids, because then it was like, right, we're not fighting in school, we're fighting outside school. Right. And that's when people started bringing weapons. And that was, for me, that was the birth of bringing weapons to school and so on and so forth. Even one guy managed to get hold of a gun one time. Right. Do you know what I mean? It was still in school, do you know? So, yeah, I think that was the birthplace of all of that.
In the 90s, I mean, that is mad to think. And obviously, it's not got any better, it's got worse.
It's got worse, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
and you know, we will get on to, you know, your security stuff, but that when you sort of, you know, was getting wrapped up in this stuff, what did you sort of go? Was you sort of part of a gang, or was you just
It's funny because my situation is quite unique, because I knew all the players, or many of the players knew me. Kind of, it was, you know, like I went to school with, I don't want to mention any names, but I went to primary school with one big player. Right. There's. I could mention his name, Fox, who recently died a few years ago. Right. He always used to held me up. And when I left Hackney and my brother was still in Hackney, always used to ask my brother when I was boxing, "Oh, how's Larry? Saw him on TV the other day. Oh, you know, hail him up for me." So everyone knew me. And in fact, it was good because, in a sense, because they knew how strict my mum and dad were, I think after a while, when I came out of prison and I started really focusing on the boxing, they were very encouraging and wanted me to stay in that lane and not come out of it.
Because normally it's the other way around, but it's good that they support you.
Yeah, because they could see, oh, this person's on something positive. Let him carry on with that. And they knew that, look, I can handle myself. No doubt about that. But I'll be the first one to say I'm not about that life. Right. That life, you've got to be a ruthless, brutal son of a, you know what I mean? It's Ramadan.
Son of a gun. Son of a gun.
Yeah, son of a gun. Okay, I'll say that then. But yeah, and don't get me wrong, every one of us can be like that at some point. You know, there's triggers, but to be like that every day, I can't do that. So, do you know what I mean? I couldn't be in that life anyway. But
and what happened to Foxy when you said he died? Was he murdered or?
Yeah, he was murdered by, funnily enough, another guy that I know called Enz. Yeah, there was something going on there. Don't know what. But.
I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, and for anyone watching or listening to this podcast, you know, if you are in this life, it always ends in death or prison. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't ever end in happiness. I don't know very many people that are walking around drinking champagne saying, I've been in the life for 30 years. Yeah. It's a great opportunity to get involved. Exactly. If you want to sign up now, I'll teach you how to be a star of the hood. You know, that doesn't exist, does it?
And even the ones that have been to prison, come out and been to prison so many times and come out still doing their thing, whatever, you never know peace. You're always looking over your shoulder. Right. I can't live like that. That's you know what I mean? It's not a way to live. Like, so, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can have all the money in the world and doing all of that, but when you don't have peace, it's worthless to me. You know what 100%. I mean? Yeah. So.
I mean, it's really refreshing that you say it, Larry, because that's one thing that I think this country definitely needs. Because it doesn't matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're Chinese, whether you're Indian, it doesn't matter. You know, everybody in this country, there seems to be this divisive thing happening at the moment where everyone's trying to get everybody against each other. You know, they're saying, let's support this cause and let's support this cause. And then everyone's going, well, I'm with that. And then you're like, well, I'm with that. And then you're arguing over bollocks, really. And most of these causes really have got nothing to do with us. So when you look at it, you do sort of think, you know, we're getting ourselves involved in other people's stuff in other countries. It's really nothing to do with us.
Yeah,
we should be concentrating at home and getting along and thinking, well, how can we, as a nation, all get on, all make money together,
our situation,
all live harmoniously.
100%.
That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we do that, Larry. Maybe we to start a movement.
You know what I mean?
Maybe this podcast starts a movement. But you, when did you first start actually boxing? Was that when you was at school?
So I started boxing, I think when I was about 17.
Right.
Because what it was, so my first combat sport was Taekwondo.
Right.
I still do that, well, up until very recently because I had the operation and that.
Right. So if you want to fight Larry, now's your chance because he's had a hip operation.
But yeah, I started off doing Taekwondo, which I really love.
Who did you train with? Did you train with, was that in East London as well?
Yeah. Victoria Park, actually, yeah. It was, yeah. And so I did Taekwondo for a bit, and then I went into sprinting.
Right.
And I was quite a good sprinter. I was trained with Dwayne Chambers for a bit as well. And then I injured myself quite severely and injured my hamstring twice.
What was you running? Was it 100 metres, 500 metres, 800
100
metres?
and 200, yeah.
Right, wow.
Yeah. So after, okay, let me track back a little bit. So during the off season of track and field, I always used to go to the boxing gym to keep in shape. And because I had a natural talent for it. Loved the boxing gym. My brother used to come with me as well. Lions Boys Club, actually, that's the one. So when I got injured the second time for my hamstring sprinting, I was like, you know what? I can't be dealing with this no more. Actually, you know what? Let me try boxing. And they were quite encouraging to come over and do it full time. Right. So started doing boxing from about, I would say seriously, from about 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many amateur fights did you have?
I had 13 amateur fights. Right. Not very many. Right. Because a lot of them kept pulling out.
Well, the problem is when you're a big guy, what are you about 120 kilograms?
Now about 140. Right.
That's what I mean. You ain't fighting
the fighting
anybody.
weight, it was about 120, 125, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's a funny story, actually. Because I boxed at a Repton club. Right. And every year we go to Ireland to fight the Dockers. Right.
I bet it's a fucking 130 kilogram Dockers.
So me and my brother pull up and we see our opponents, right? We weigh in and everything. And we're like, yeah, okay, brilliant. We've got our opponents. Let's go back, chill out in the hotel, like whatever. Then we get to the venue. My brother's a big guy as well, but my brother's opponent showing up. Right. Mine didn't. And that was literally the story of my amateur career. Right. Like so only one of those 13 fights was a club show. The rest were championship fights.
Wow.
Because obviously you can't pull out in the championship fights. You know what I mean? You have to go. So yeah, only one was a club show.
So what did you get? Did you win some titles as well, Larry?
Yeah, I got to the national novice finals.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to the national novice finals, yeah. Funnily enough, the first national novices that I did, I got to the quarterfinal. And if I'd have won that quarterfinal, I think the semi-final, I would have fought Tyson Fury.
How funny is that? That would have been a good fight. Yeah, because you're both big guys. I mean, you know.
Yeah. So it's funny because I almost fought him again as a pro when I beat Dave Ferguson for the English title eliminator, and he had the English title at that point when he beat McDermott. Right. But yeah, glad didn't fly him then.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. You might beat him. You never know.
Yeah.
So when you you're boxing and you're doing your amateur career, when did you sort of go down that wrong path that sort of led you to jail?
That was before boxing. That was before boxing. Yeah, wow. Yeah. So
how old was you then?
I went to jail when I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you was amateur, but you hadn't turned pro.
So funnily enough, I was amateur before I got banged up, but I never had an amateur fight.
Right.
I was training at the...
They kept not showing up. They probably did show up and they saw you and went, fuck that. I'm not fighting.
So I never had an amateur fight, and then I got banged up. And then... So I got banged up when I was 21, came out when I was 26, almost 27. And then I thought, right, I'm really going to give it a go now. Right. And went to Repton. Because I went back to Lions Boys Club, and they were like, well, you've been to jail. We don't really want you near... Right. You know, the kids and whatnot. I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't nonce kids or anything.
Yeah,
like
Jimmy
that.
Savile.
Do you know what I mean? Like I was so disappointed with that. So
I suppose really it's probably. I mean, I know they're very sensitive, aren't they, about if you're out of jail or if you've got a criminal record.
But I think it depends what it's. Repton didn't have a problem with it. Do you know what I mean? Repton didn't have a problem with it. So yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the other club they were a little bit ahead of their time with the wokeness. But most boxers have got a colourful past.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I didn't really understand that, to be honest with you. So went Repton because I had some.
Right.
Funnily enough, I met some other boxers in jail boxing Repton.
Well, let's talk
Repton.
Let's talk about how you went down the wrong side of the tracks.
Okay. So going back to what I was talking about when I said like a lot of people were looking at these like gang leaders and seeing how much money they're making and being like, oh, I want to be like them and whatever. So I kind of was like, I was never a follower. I'm always a leader.
Right.
So I'm like, how can I just got fed up. Like being in university, I was in university studying pharmaceutical chemistry and I'm like, I'm broke. My parents can't really give me that much money. They're doing the best they can, but you know what I mean? And I can't really work because I'm doing all this uni work. Right. How am I going to make some money? So I got my friends together and was like, what are we going to do to make some money? So we had a friend, an older friend of ours who owned a brothel. So he was like, oh, can you, there's a couple of brothels nearby and they're taking a lot of my business.
Right.
So could you rob them? And this is the layout and blah, 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 blah. So we were like, really? And he was like, yeah, it's easy. So we did it.
Right.
And we was like, wow, this is really easy.
So I need to understand. I need to understand how a brothel heist works, right? Because it sounds crazy, right? I mean, but was there like because from my understanding, brothels are open 24/7, no? Or did I have
back then? Because we're talking about when I was like 2021. So back then, I don't think so. Well, I think it depends on. Because they're not licensed. A lot of them were just flats that were just operating as brothels.
Yeah, because I know when prostitution's been around in this country for years, but the actual brothel thing, obviously because it's not a legal operation, you do sort Vegas. Of you just sort of think it's sort of 24/7 business. You know, there's always someone that wants to get laid, right? So if you can provide somebody to solve that problem, you can turn. And I know in Soho they just turn them around like all day and all night. Because a friend of mine, we did a film called Once Upon a Time in London about the old days in London in the city and in obviously Soho, and it was literally there'd be the Maltese or whatever would set up and they'd be running the vice, somebody else would be running the drugs. So you'd have all these different firms doing all this stuff. Right. No doubt there was other people doing it, but there was probably so similar to that. So was there a firm actually doing this, or was it just individuals?
I think there were some firms doing it, but there was also a lot of individuals doing it.
And what was it? A big brawl you
So they were just flats.
Right.
Like literally, he had a flat in West London, West Central. And it was just other flats because they were the ones that obviously they don't have them now. They don't really advertise like that now anymore. But they were the ones that had the like postcards in the phone boxes.
But there's no phone boxes now.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I don't know how they advertise now. But they used to have all of those ones. Right. So what we used to do after we did those two,
a friend of mine who actually did actually go in there and pick up the postcard and make a phone call and actually went there. He said the woman he met didn't look anything like the picture. So I mean that the standards authority, I think it's called ASA, they would actually be taking them to court, for misrepresentation.
Probably. But after we did those two, so what we planned was like we were just gonna pick a day, grab a couple of those postcards, phone them. Get someone to go down there and have a look and see the layout, see if there's any security, and so on and so forth. And then they'll come back out, and then we would either do it that day or we'll come back another day.
And was there, because obviously you don't want to go at the beginning, do you? You want to kind of go at the end of the day. So Was there like a time as well that you thought?
Yeah, just evening time, really.
Right.
Yeah, just evening time, like between, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock, I thought.
And at this time, there was no CCTV, right? So
there wasn't as much as there is now.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as it is now. But yeah, we weren't really concerned about that. We weren't really concerned.
Yeah. Well, you weren't probably walking in there like without a mask on, right? So he was probably bellied up.
No, we weren't. We were very stupid.
Right.
Yeah, we were very stupid. Funnily enough, though, a lot of us didn't get identified like that. I did on one of them, but yeah, most of us didn't really get identified.
So when you kicked, did you knock on the door? Did you kick the door?
So what we would do is we would usually get.
I mean, it's fucking great. I'm loving this. What story?
I'm gonna apologize in advance. I'm not trying to be racist. Actually, it's not a racist thing. I'm just being factual, right? So there was 2 of us that were black.
Right.
There was 3 of us that was black, and 2 of us that was Asian, right? Now, we found that some weren't allowing black people in.
Really?
Go figure. So what
was
we
their
did,
money not good enough?
So
I thought any money, like, don't care, just fucking bring
that's
it
what
on.
I would have thought. I thought even they discriminate. Bloody hell. So we used to send our Asian friends in, and they never got rejected. So yeah, they'd go in,
Right.
they'd scope out the place,
Right.
tell us what we need to know,
Right.
and then we usually didn't hear it that day. We usually came back another day, and then that person would go back in, and then we would be waiting like outside, and then as they're coming out, then we would rush in.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So that's how we did it.
And what would the whore heist? what would a whore heist generate? I mean, let's call it the whore heist, right? If there's 4 of you or 5 of you.
So on any one time there'd be about 3. There'd be about 3.
Oh, right, so 3.
I think there was only one time there was 4 of us. But
Right, okay.
yeah.
Right, okay. And what was the sort of what was?
I mean, from what I remember, because we're talking about almost 30 years ago, but
Yeah, love has changed since then.
most definitely. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about what on one you might get £500 to £1,000.
Right.
But if you're hitting 2 or 3 of them a day,
Right. Yeah,
it's not bad money, is it?
It's a living. I suppose it's better than working at McDonald's, right? And back then it was probably £2.65 an hour. So,
yeah, especially for our age.
And it was cash, so you didn't have to declare it to the tax man.
Yeah, exactly. So,
so how many of these brothels did you rob? Did you
we did loads.
Right, okay.
I only ended up getting nicked for 3 of them, but we did loads. We did loads.
Well, was it in the hundreds or was it sort of just?
Oh, I wouldn't say hundreds,
Right.
but not far off.
Wow.
Not far off. Yeah, not far off.
So, and how long? What would you say was the period of time that you was doing this? Was it sort of 6 months? Were you?
Yeah, it was a period of a few months. I think it was about a period of 6, 7 months. Yeah.
So you're uni in the day, robbing brothels in the night. But then at uni, you're like going, yeah, it's on me, mate. Yeah, have a sandwich, have a pizza. I'll take you to the tuck shop. But did you finish uni though or not?
So I finished this. I did finish in the end, but when I got arrested, I done 2 years and I had 1 year left to do.
Right.
So I ended up finishing that year on my last year of my sentence when I was in an open prison.
Oh, brilliant! So you managed to finish university. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But when you got arrested, what was it? Just because you'd been stupid, or was it just because you'd done too many and people they had a profile?
So,
because I mean, it's a bit of a weird thing. You're running an illegal.
Yeah, but
right? And you bring the police.
It's seen more of a grey area, and what we found out later on was a lot of them were affiliated with the police.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So they weren't afraid to call the police. Do you know what I mean?
So the police, what they were giving?
They were, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we found out later on.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it? You know, classing people up. Yeah, just that, you know, Fred's just left. I think he's had a few and he's got in his car and he's driving home. Definitely on drugs.
So, but I think what happened to us, how we got caught was, like I said, there was 5 of us. After about 6-7 months of doing it, I was good. Like
Right.
a couple of us were good. We were like made enough money. I'm good. I think a couple kept going.
Right.
They got caught, and then they G'd it up, and then they came for the rest of us. So
Wow.
yeah, that's how
So you actually retired from brothel heisting, and then the others, because they do say in life, it doesn't matter what you do, there's always going to be a time when you have to get out, whether it's a business, whether it's crime, whatever it is. There's a period when you go, right, I've made enough money here. But if you stay in it too long, I know loads of people who've had businesses that have been really successful, and then something's turned, and then the businesses have started to lose money, and then rather than them just going, let's stop, they've carried on saying we can bring it back, and then they've lost even more money. And it's probably the same with crime. If you keep committing crime, there's going to be a point where you get nicked. So, like you said, you were sensible.
Yeah.
I've had enough, and then
I wouldn't say sensible, but yeah, you know what I mean.
you knew when enough was enough.
Basically.
And what did they actually arrest you for?
So at first it was silly, because at first it was what was it? It was aggravated burglary,
Right.
which I didn't understand.
Right.
And then obviously firearms as well, but we didn't actually have any firearms. We had imitation firearms.
Right. They still look good though.
And then so the imitation firearms stuck. Those charges stuck, but then they changed afterwards when we was in Crown Court. They changed the aggravated burglary to just robbery.
Right.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, when you do a bank heist, you walk in there and you say something like, "Put your hands where I can fucking see them.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking hero."
Yeah.
So when you went into the whorehouses, what did you say?
That's pretty much what we said.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, so it's the same thing. I didn't know if you went, put your clothes on, show us the money.
Yeah, so we pretty much we pretty much said the same thing.
Right.
Just give us the money and then we're gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
And all apart from one didn't give us any problems.
Right, okay.
There was one that gave us like a real hard time, and he unfortunately got hurt.
Right.
Unnecessarily, because
He tried to be a hero, didn't he?
It's a mad story, because a friend of mine who was on the job with us didn't know he had a knife, started stabbing the guy. Luckily it wasn't a big knife.
Right.
And the thing is, I had the guy, I was handling him quite well, just using my fist, so there was no need for that. Right. So he did what he did, and then it was just like, we got to get the hell out of here, do you know what I mean? And then we ran off, and obviously the guy was all right in the end, but we ended up finding out, because that was one of the ones I got done for, I ended up finding out he was pimping out his wife, which...
I mean, that's just normal behaviour, right?
So,
I don't want to say that, maybe that was karma, but I mean, who does that? Pimps their wife out. I mean, that's fucked up.
That is beyond that. You know what I mean? I can't even...
Babe, listen, I've got a really good idea. And we can make some extra money. Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you even have that?
There must be a screw loose.
How would you even
somewhere.
have that conversation?
Yeah. How does that even start? Like, you must have a screw loose somewhere. And then if she's agreeing to it, she's got a screw loose as well. Do you know what I mean?
They need help.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah,
but I suppose that was the catalyst, because once someone actually physically gets stabbed, then obviously that's where the aggravated burglary comes from. And then, I mean, normally something like that would be Section 18, so it's quite serious.
Yeah, they tried to do me for the GBH, but they were very clear. It's funny because they charged me and tried to convict me of that. Right. But the witnesses were very clear in their statement. The guy who stabbed him was 5'8". Right. I was 6'4".
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's a big difference there. Do you know what I mean? So that was obvious not guilty, but it's.
And did you plead guilty or did you go?
No, I went not guilty.
Okay.
I went not guilty because they didn't have that much evidence against me. They had circumstantial evidence. Do you know what I mean? So I thought I could get away with this stuff.
Right. And then when you found guilty, you obviously got your sentence.
Yeah.
And for you, Larry, you come from a good family. You obviously done this little what I call a side hustle to help pay for your education. I mean, you know, he could have been going out on the street robbing innocent people, but but I'm just saying, you was doing it as a means to an end. But then when you actually walked into jail, did you literally look around and think, like, what the fuck have I done here?
100%. 100%. That's exactly what I've messed my life up. Do you know what I mean? And the shame I brought on my parents. So yeah, it was
right.
Yeah, even thinking back now, I'm just like, oof. Yeah, because my mum, I had to work really hard out when I came out of jail to get my mum back on side. Do you know what I mean? Like, my dad was pretty all right, but my mum, I think she was really hurt by it. So I had to really work my ass off to show her that, you know, I
can hear her voice, Larry. I can hear her voice. I can actually hear her voice. You put shame on this family. How could you do this, Larry?
Yeah, my mum weren't happy. My mum
I can imagine
at all. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And what was your jail time like, Larry? I mean, did it go through fairly peacefully, or did you have?
It relatively peacefully. I mean, there was a couple of altercations that, you know, you're gonna get with idiots,
right?
You know, but I never came out the worst of it. Right. So yeah.
And when you was in jail, did you see anything really bad happen, or was it, or anything really funny? Because normally people. Got great
it's funny because I told my missus this last week because I never told her about my jail experience, but I told her this story. So you'll laugh at this. So this was at HMP Swellside, right? Which is nicknamed Stabside. Right. It's just, even until now, it's lawless. Right. Like, Scrooge got no control over that place, right? So I think I was on the 3rd landing that morning, right? And I think I've had my breakfast, got my breakfast, looking down the landing, had my breakfast, looking down the landing. And as I'm looking down the landing, someone's come out of their cell. I think I only just unlocked him. Big guy. Right. Come out of his cell. He had the canteen bags, the big canteen bags, like the clear bags. He'd been pissing and shitting in it all night, right? So there was a senior officer, like, right in the middle, and he just ran up to him and put it over his head and then stood back, started laughing, right? So obviously the other screws have seen that. Like, 3 other screws came over, and like I said, he's a big, strong guy. Right. So they're all wrestling with him, and then they all end up on the floor in the piss and shit. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, and it's funny because there was a screw that was all right on my landing. Watching all this, he was supposed to go down and help, but he didn't.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then, I don't blame him, to be honest. And then after the whole melee like ended, like, and they carted him off, he was just like, you know what? I'd rather be knocked out. I don't blame the guy. I'd rather be knocked out. Like, oh, yeah.
And what happened?
His mouth and all of that. Ugh.
And what happened did he get?
Good question. I don't know.
It's a great fucking story.
I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but I'm guessing it worked good.
I mean, it is a funny story, but if you was a prison officer, and someone actually said to you, you know, I don't know what they get paid here, but say they get paid 28 grand a year or whatever it is, and then someone does that to you, I mean, you are going to seriously reconsider your job,
you would. I mean, because. You would.
But I take it this guy had obviously done something to him.
Obviously the senior, I think he's done something to him, and he's got his revenge. But I just
because I think someone said to me, like, when they protest, they shit up their cells where they rub shit.
Yeah, some of them do that. Yeah, I mean, some of them do that.
It just sounds fucking like
it's mad. It's mad. I'll tell you something that wasn't so funny that I saw as well. In the same jail, in fact, all the messed up stuff that happened in Swellside. Right. So I was on this drug-free wing, E-wing, because that's the wing where all the sensible people are on, right? Yeah, and I'm telling the story, right? So, but normally that's what's supposed to be, right? Then they bring this big Colombian guy onto the wing. Now, he's known to be a problem in all the other wings. And in fact, that's why they brought him onto the E-wing, the drug-free wing, because he's been a problem in all the other wings, and that's the only way they can now bring him. Now, why didn't it take him to the block? I don't know.
Right.
But they decided to bring him onto E-Wing. Now I knew of this fella because he's another big, powerful guy, and we were all on the powerlifting team together, right? So he was always cool with me. Always used to say hello, good morning, and I'd say it back, no problems. I never had no problems with this guy. But he had a screw loose.
Right.
A screw loose. So there was another Jamaican guy called Solji, and he could cook. This guy could cook. And so we used to sometimes get on his food bowl.
So you didn't. So in jail, you didn't have to eat the
No, you didn't have to.
Oh, so you get.
But it was only certain jails, like Swalside had their own. Prisoners had their own kitchen, so you have to have a food bowl.
So pal up the chef and you're sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and food was so much better than the actual slot they gave us. So, but yeah, so Solji, I think this was New Year's. This was New Year's. So, like I said, this Colombian guy's got a screw loose, right? Solji's playing cards with his other mates. In fact, I was in my cell just watching TV. I didn't even, because I just heard a noise and found out what happened. But apparently this fella walked past him. Solji said Happy New Year to him. He somehow took offense to that. Went back into his cell, broke one of those, those thick pepper bottles.
Right.
And just into Solji's neck.
Did he kill him?
Almost.
Fucking hell.
But when I heard the noise, I saw claret all over the walls. Because obviously he got in his jugular. And and then I saw the screws wrestling with him, trying to apprehend him and that. And we had to try and help Solji, put pressure on the wound and everything. And man, it was, That was.
I mean, it's mad. It's mad to think that you could just be being polite to somebody could get you fucking almost murdered.
Yeah, man. I mean, that really made me realize that I had to. I mean, I was always very alert and careful anyway, but that day made me realize, you know what? I literally couldn't trust no one.
Right.
Let me not say trust no one, but I had to be very careful who I trust, and I have to be very careful with my surroundings, because I did end up having some very good friends to this day. I keep in touch with them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not everyone in there is bad. You know what I mean? Right. It's just everyone. Circumstances, life happens. So.
Yeah.
But some messed up stuff, just to say the least. Yeah.
And then when you got to the end of your time and like literally you get released. What was the first thing you did when you got out?
Went raving.
Was it one of mine?
I don't rave no more.
Right.
Don't rave no more.
Right.
So
so you went out raving, and then did you then go and see the parents and sort of say, look?
Oh no, I did that first. Don't get me wrong.
So
no.
Apologies.
I went home first.
Major piece.
Yeah, I mean, and but my mum and dad had been visiting me and stuff anyway. It's not so.
Right.
But yeah, I went home and all that, and then we obviously all went out and stuff. So
right.
yeah.
And then after that, you did you sort of sit down and go, right, I've got a day reckoning now. I need to get my head down. And I take it that the jail life, that street life weren't for you. Yeah. And that's when you was like, right, I've done that. I know it's no good. So I'm now going to stick on the positive.
Yeah. No, I promised myself that I wasn't going to be a statistic, you know what I mean? So I'm a very, I would say even now, but even back then I was very positive, very glass half full kind of guy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I decided that, look, I was gonna really get my head down and sort my life out and give this boxing a go. Right. You know, yeah.
So how long was it after you left jail when you actually turned pro?
So I left jail 2005. 3 years.
Wow.
3 years. Yeah.
And then who did you? Who was in your sort of teammates? Who sort of trained you and managed
as a pro?
Yeah.
So I turned pro with a trainer. He passed a few months ago actually. James Cook, MBE.
Yeah.
Did so much great work for the community in Hackney with the Pedro Club and stuff. Actually helped a lot of people get out of gangs and stuff, so on and so forth. So, and he was a fantastic boxer back in his day as well. He was a European champion. Wow. So, beat Michael Watson as well. Wow. Yeah. So, he was a really good boxer back in his day. So he was my first professional trainer.
Right.
And he introduced me to Frank Maloney, who ended up being my manager and promoter for the first while of my career. Yeah.
Wow. He's Kelly now, isn't he?
Yeah, Kelly Maloney. Yeah.
I actually thought that was a wind up because when I met him like back in the day, and he was always a proper geezer.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, I thought, is this a wind up? Because when people send you a message going, Kelly's now Frank's now Kelly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is a wind up, and then it was like, no, it's serious.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him actually, or I haven't seen her, should I say, for probably about 8 years. But
I think they're on the down low kind of thing.
Right.
I shouldn't even say down low. I just thought nothing's happening for them in Boxing Avenue. So
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I did actually think if he was still managing and promoting, he could be because I don't know of any transgender boxing promoters. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Is he transgender or is he actually a fully? Has he actually had the operation to?
I think he's had the operation.
Oh, right, okay. So he's a fully fledged woman now. So he's not transgender. He's fully fledged.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, and for you when you were boxing, out of your fights, who were the notable fights you had, and what level did you get to, Larry?
So as a pro, I would say notable fights. So Scott fought and beat Scott Belshaw.
Yeah.
At one time, he was looked at as another prospect that Frank Maloney actually had because he was knocking everyone out. And it's funnily enough, when I fought him, he just fought Tyson Fury before.
Right.
And Tyson Fury did him in 2 rounds.
Right.
And obviously, I see Tyson as a rival back then, innit? So I was like, I'm going to do him in a round.
Right.
Just to get one up, and I did him in a round. So,
right.
Yeah. But he could punch, man. He could whack. Yeah. Because I remember he missed me with a punch, and he caught my leg. But I didn't realise it at the time. And I woke up the next morning, my leg was dead. Like, I was like, why is my leg dead? Do you know what I mean? Why? And then watching the tape of the fight over, and I'm like, oh, shit. So if that had caught me, I'd have been asleep. So him, Colin Kenoff, when I won the Southern area,
right?
Because he'd beaten a lot of good guys.
Yeah.
And obviously Dave Ferguson. That was probably my best win.
Right.
Dave Ferguson for the English title eliminator, because he was another prospect with Frank Maloney. Right. But yeah, that. So I won a Southern Area title. I won an English title eliminator, and I also won the International Masters. But that's a nothing title, to be honest with you. Because I won that when because I left Frank Maloney, got with Frank Warren, and I ended up on one of these magnificent 7 bills. Right. That was pay-per-view. So they were all supposed to be like title fights. So just put that one as a title. But yeah, I think those were the notable wins.
Did you fight for the British title?
No. Right. So if I'd have when I left Frank Warren, the second fight I had was against John McDermott, and that was like a final British eliminator. And if I'd have won that, I would have fought for the British. But unfortunately, I lost that to John. Even though I've always thought I could carry on, but ref's decision's final. Do you know what I mean?
After that, was that when you stepped out of boxing, or did you?
No. There's a lot more to that.
Right.
So I didn't fight for a year because I changed coach, and I went with a very good friend of mine now, who's a very underrated coach in David Pereira. Right. He's a former boxer who used to be trained by Adam Booth.
Right.
So we trained together for like a year, and I was actually scheduled to fight. This was in 2011.
Right.
End of 2011, I was actually scheduled to fight Derek Chisora in Wembley Arena.
Del Boy.
Yeah. And if you're listening, Del Boy, I still want to fight you. Trust me.
Well, he's fighting Wilder next week, isn't he?
Yeah, he wants to call it quits. So give me one. Have one more and give me one next year.
I don't think he's going to. I mean,
he loves money too much.
Whatever you say about him, he loves fighting. And he always puts on the show. So,
most definitely.
So I can't see him retiring. I know they're saying it's his last one, but
I hope not.
So I hope not. So is that your plan then?
I want 3 more fights. Right. I want to fight Dave Allen, right? Because I thought him as a journeyman, and I always thought I could beat him.
Right. Did you beat him when you fought him?
No, because I thought him as a journeyman, so I was paid to lose as a journeyman. You know what I mean?
Does that really happen in boxing?
Oh yes.
Do you get paid a lot of money or not? Is
not
it just
really?
Right, okay.
Yeah. Then I want to fight, as I said, Derek Chisora, and then also Dylan White.
Right.
Because me and him are not.
Because he got
pals.
He got knocked out, didn't he?
By Talma, yeah. That kid's special.
I mean, I did think, special. Why would you fight him? Because he's...
even funnily enough, and you talk about Del Boy wanting to fight. Even he said, "Why did Dylan take that fight?" Because he wouldn't have taken that fight. Because everyone knows this kid's special. Yeah, this kid is special. Like if he can keep, stay away from girls, stay away from drugs, he's gonna be a world champion. Do you know what I mean? So but. That was, now that I got the hips sorted and I know I can move well. Right. I would like to have those 3 and then done.
So what's the thing about Dylan White then?
Oh, me and him don't. Funnily enough, we used to be good friends. We used to train together. He used to be one of my chief sparring partners. Right. And then so after the Sam Sexton fight, so when I had to pull out of the Derek Chisora fight because I got severe diarrhea, right? The kind of diarrhea you couldn't even get off the couch. Right. That was really bad. So they scheduled me another fight 2 months later with Sam Sexton. Right. So that fight ended in a headbutt, but they changed the rules and said they were going to the scorecards, and he was 1 point up. How he was, I don't know. So they gave it to him. Right. And then he ended up fighting for the British title. So that fight, I ended up failing a drug test for PEDs.
Well, did you have too many eggs?
I wish I thought of that excuse. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I've had so many fucking eggs. You know what I mean? I knew it was. I haven't had PEDs instead loads of eggs.
Yeah,
well, it's eggs or the Mexican beef.
Yeah, well, there you go. I've been to Mexico, so yeah. But so I failed a PED test, and then so I was banned. Right. And what happened was Dylan White then got banned for whatever he took. Right. And he started blaming me. Now, by that point, I hadn't spoken to him in about a year. Right. But I knew he was doing stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, so.
Can I ask you a quick question, Mike? Yeah. Like, everybody is. Would you say everybody's pretty much at it? I mean.
So I don't know if you bothered to. I've been interviewed in so many times, and I've told people pretty much the same thing. Almost everyone's at it. Right. And that's every sport. That's not just boxing. That's
what I thought. I thought that.
Yeah. And it's obvious. It's not even, it's you can't even hide it anymore. So many of the greats have been caught. Roy Jones has been caught. Right. Tyson Fury's been caught. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's on paper he's been caught. Him and his cousin. Do you know what I mean? So it's known that I was in the interview one time with Richard Poxon, who's a very good friend of mine, former promoter. And I said to him, and Johnny Nelson was on that podcast actually, and I said to them that between 80 and 90% of pay-per-view fighters are on drugs, are on performance enhancing drugs. Now, for whatever reason, I didn't mention any names, but for whatever reason, Eddie Hearn, who I actually got on with at that point, decided that he was going to say something and say, oh, Larry is a loser. He's just saying that because blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, when I made a rebuttal, I was like, when someone makes, I didn't even mention his name, and yet you make things personal, that shows you lost the argument straight away. Right. Do you know what I mean? Anytime you're having an argument with someone or a debate and you make it personal and not about the issue, you've lost it. Right. Right? Because why are you making it personal? But and the reason why he was making it personal was because he was supposed to be anti-drugs, but yet you've got all these people who failed drug tests on your pay-per-view shows, including one, Lucas Brown, who failed 3 drug tests.
Right. That's a lot, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? I mean, you're this person who's like, oh, I'm not... For Jarrell Miller, for instance, when Jarrell Miller was going to fight AJ and then he got caught with all the drugs he was using. I'm never going to work with this guy again. It's disgusting, blah, blah, blah. Who's been promoting him for his last few fights?
Right.
Eddie Hearn.
Right.
All bollocks, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it really annoys me when these people come out and, you know, they say one thing, but really they're not on it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I've always advocated to let everyone just use what they want to use.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because this argument about, someone's going to die and it's going to make the sport unsafe, where's your evidence for that?
Right.
Because my evidence shows that actually that's the opposite would happen.
We're getting punched in the face, right? So
it's dangerous anyway. Like what? Yeah, like people, because there's a particular boxer. I'm not going to name him, but he comes up with the same tired argument all the time. It's going to take someone to die. It's going to take someone to die for the what? People haven't died in boxing already. Is that what you're saying? So and then if you're saying it's going to take someone to die, so that you're trying to say that one death doesn't matter, but another death does. Like, make it make sense. Doesn't make any sense. You're coming up with tired arguments. The problem when it comes to this issue, as I've always said, is that no one wants to do any critical thinking. Everyone just wants to follow, you know, instead of actually thinking for themselves and actually think, you know, do these rules actually make sense?
I think if 90% of the people are on it, they're doing it anyway. So it's sort of like,
do you know what I mean? You know, and I've always said this. Just because you pass a test doesn't mean you're clean.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're not using anything. You pass the test. You know what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, I only failed a test because they never tested me throughout my career. And when I started, I was making sure that I was clear, like not making sure that I left enough time between using the drug and then fight time so that I'd make sure I test clean. When I saw that they weren't testing me, I was like, oh, well, open season. I'll go do what I like. You know what I mean? I don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? Right. So, that's how me and Dylan fell out. So he thought I told the authorities that he was using whatever he was using, which I didn't. Right. And he almost got to the streets.
Right. So if you don't have to fight in the ring professionally, you could maybe have the fight on Misfits.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
It's probably more money.
Depends on who's promoting.
Right.
If you get a turkey a la shake,
yeah, you're in the money, baby.
You know what I mean?
And when did you actually step out of boxing?
So my last fight as a journeyman, because I ended up being a journeyman, because what I decided after. So what happened was I came back from my ban. I did prize fighter, the international prize fighter, and they robbed me. Right. They didn't want me in there, so they didn't want me winning the thing. So they robbed me. They counted a knockdown that wasn't a knockdown, and I lost by a point. Right. So I was just like, right, what else do I want to do? I want to be an actor. Right. And I've always wanted to be an actor. There's two things I wanted to be in life: a sportsman and an actor. Right. So if I couldn't be a sprinter, it was a boxer, and I also wanted to be an actor. Right. If you're in the sports world, you don't have the time to do acting because you know if you really want to do it properly, go into class and everything. So and then funnily enough, when I was up there as a boxer and I used to go to train with Freddie Roach quite a lot, I met Gary Stretch, who's boxer turned actor, and he gave me a lot of good advice. And he was just like, look, you need to do it just like how you're training to be a boxer. That's how you can't rely on your boxing fame to be an actor. Right. If you want to do it properly, you've got to go and train as an actor. Right. So then when that happened, the band happened, I was like, right, I'm going to go drama school. And I don't want a 9 to 5 to fund it because I want to be open to any opportunity that comes my way. So that's when I became a journeyman and just taking fights to fund drama school and fund my living. Do you know what I mean?
It's a great story. It's like fucking Hackney Rocky. Love it. And then, you do your drama training. And what was your first actual acting job?
My first actual acting job was a play I did. Yeah, it was a play in the Oxford House Theatre in Bethnal Green, funnily enough. And I played, you're going to laugh at this, I played the dad of the main character called Jasmine. The lady, Charisse, who put on the play was actually from my drama school as well. I went to Identity Drama School. And good friends now. But when I originally went to audition, we were always told in drama school, you got to change it up, you got to change it up, you got to change it up. Don't do when you make choices, don't do the obvious choice. So I was like, all right. I saw the brief, and one of the characters was a gay guy.
Oh, I was just going to say, did you come in, do something to wear a dress for this role?
Well, I didn't do that. I wouldn't go that far. But I thought, because there wasn't overtly stuff to do, so I thought, let me try and play a gay guy.
Right. So how did you? Can you give us a demonstration, Larry? Was you doing a lot of that? Or how did you do?
I don't even remember what I did, but I know it wasn't convincing because she was like, "You know what? You'd be better for this role."
Was it a bigger role?
No, it was a smaller role.
I was going to say, because it was a bigger role, then you could just,
it fit me a lot better. And I was like, I can't play this convincingly. It's just not, some people can, some people can't.
Do you know what, though? That's the beauty of acting. Sometimes if you step out your comfort zone, you win. Sometimes you go, actually, I won't do that again because I can't, like you said, pull it off. But it doesn't matter. I mean, we obviously have the same agent. And Luke, when we was putting Tales from a Trap together, Luke said to me, he said, "You got to get Larry in somewhere." And I said, "Oh," and I saw your picture and I thought he's got. When I saw the picture and I thought he's got a great look. Do you know what I mean? I thought great look, and I just thought we can end up. There was a role obviously in Tales from a Trap called Pressure. And I just thought, this is perfect for Larry. and you've also done some big films as well, haven't you? I mean,
yeah. I mean, the biggest film that I did was Venom 2. Massive franchise. Yeah. Comic book film.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. Andy Serkis was directing as well. I love Andy Serkis.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And my scene actually had Naomi Harris in.
Right, wow.
She was really cool as well. So,
But that's good for the show, wasn't it?
yeah, man. So I was really, really, really happy with being in that. You know what I mean?
Wicked.
But yeah, I've been in loads of stuff. I mean, you've done lots of stuff yourself, but it's really cool meeting some of the people that you watch on TV and you admire. Like, for instance, I did an independent film with Jared Harris.
Right.
And I've admired the hell out of this guy, like some Hollywood royalties, Peter Harris, you know what I mean? And so, like, but you always think, is he going to be a bit of an arsehole?
Right.
Lovely guy. Right. Lovely guy. And gave me so much advice as well, do you know what I mean? And it's brilliant. Like, and even you, like, I'm sitting with you now, and I'm like, I remember watching you in these films.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? You never think, I'm going to meet this guy and end up working with him.
But also, we got another contact, obviously Dominic and Harrison Tanner.
Yes.
How long have you been working with them?
So I'd been working on and off with them for about quite a few years now, because it's funny because I watched the first film that I worked with them on. I actually ended up watching again yesterday, was Hobbs and Shaw.
Right.
So that was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
But I've been on and off. Do you know what I mean?
And that actually led to you getting a job as well, didn't it? Working with them on when 50 Cent was in town.
Yes. And
it's that old saying, like, if you don't put yourself out there, you know what I mean? And if you hadn't been doing that, then you might not have.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So
exactly. Do you know what I mean?
And because that's coming. So Tales from a Trap's obviously coming out this year, but when is that coming out?
That was more of an extra role. So
right.
Yeah, that but it was nice just to be around them and letting them know that, look, I'm actually a proper actor. Blah blah blah. So speaking to the showrunner and stuff like that. So. Brilliant. Yeah. But you're right. Like, you have to put yourself forward. Like, that's one of the reasons why I ended up doing like film security and TV security, because I thought, as an actor, I get to put myself in front of directors and so on and so forth, and you never know what could happen. You know what I mean? So
we got Luke banging the drum, and the interesting thing about Tales from a Trap is. We're actually going to be digitalising the assets of the actors. So there's going to be obviously a cartoon Pressure, aka
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
and it's going to allow people to So with the digital assets, we're going to push them out, and then once the film's sold, obviously we're going to have a big premiere later on this year. So for anybody listening or watching, make sure you sign up, make sure you're following and subscribing the Tales from the Trap podcast so you can keep up to date with what's going on.
You don't want to miss this one. You don't want to miss this one.
I mean, talking about, obviously, you playing pressure in the film.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? Because you haven't really played anything like before, have you?
No, I haven't actually. It's funny you say that. I haven't. And it's first of all, it's funny just how like Luke just rang me up and was just like, "Oh, I got a role for you," and yeah, you're filming blah 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 blah, and I was like, "Huh? What?" Right. You know, I'm used to auditioning. You know what I mean? So just getting the offer, it's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. And then when I found out it was you, I was like, "Oh, fantastic!"
Happy days. Well, we got some great scenes together in the film.
Yeah. Some really good scenes. I'm really looking forward to seeing that car park one.
Yeah, we can't say too much about it though.
That's all I'm saying. The car park.
And what was it like working with Fumes the engineer as well?
Oh, fantastic! Obviously, he's not an actor. Right. But he worked his arse off. He worked his arse
But he actually said to me, like, I want to make this good. And that was a beautiful thing about this. It gave a lot of people opportunities.
Because I think he's got a bit of the acting bug now.
100%.
I think he has, you know what I mean?
100%.
But he really worked his arse off for it. Yeah. And I'm really hoping that people see that. Yeah. How much work he put into it, because he was already coming up to you. Oh, I want to change this in the script. I feel like this character will say this, and when I'm seeing him talk to you like that, I'm like, okay, he's invested in this.
Yeah, 100%. You know well, he wanted the best, you know. And there's some things that he wouldn't have said that was in the script. Yeah. And if it makes it sound more realistic, then we're not precious about it. We want the best for the film. So it was
a fantastic experience, and to be honest, I like working more on independent stuff than big studio stuff, because the independent stuff feels more intimate and feels more collaborative, whereas the big studio stuff, say this, say that, step here, do that, it doesn't, unless you're a big star that you can have some input, it doesn't feel collaborative.
I think the beautiful thing about independent filmmaking is it allows you to give people that wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity. It allows you to work in a creative way. Whereas if it's a big studio film, you've got about 20 people all signing the things and no, we stick with the script, do this, do that. Yeah. So it's very sort of clinical, you know. Unless, like you said, you're the big star, and then you can obviously start saying, what about this, what about that?
Yeah, exactly.
I think one of the funniest things I've ever heard a director say is somebody was talking about something and he said, but my character wouldn't say this. He said he fucking would because it's in the script. You know? And it just made me laugh. I just thought that's actually a good comeback. You know what I mean? That is a good comeback. So what are your plans for the future, Larry? What you?
I keep auditioning. Keep at this acting game. Try and get one of these Marvel roles.
I think you'd be good as a Marvel, as a villain.
I grew up. It's fantastic me watching these films now, because me and my brother grew up with Marvel comics. Like, I was a comic book head, and to see what they've done with it, like,
it's mad.
Yeah, and I definitely want to be a part of it. I don't know how. You know,
just put it out to the universe, baby.
Yeah, I mean, the character would have been fantastic for. They've already taken in Luke Cage,
right?
But there's other characters I could play. But yeah,
brilliant,
definitely would love to be in one of those comic book films. Yeah,
mate.
Yeah.
Well, Larry, I appreciate you coming on the show, mate. And
thank you for having me.
I'm sure there's going to be other things that we're going to be working on.
Yes. Sequel.
But thanks for coming on, Larry.
No, nice one.
But we can't. I mean, anything's possible, right?
Obviously. Yeah, I mean, all things positive, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the Tales from the Trap podcast. Make sure you like it, make sure you're subscribing, and we'll see you next week. We're going to have a fantastic guest, and we'll see you on the other side.